We'll just go back. We'll just go up to full special attack here. And then another life dew. And then start clicking flamethrower. I have 19 of those left. A burn would be nice, but it's not necessary. Look how much that already does. And welcome back to VGC Legends. This is, as always, the series where I spin a wheel, I get a random, legendary, or mythical Pokemon, I speed build a team around that Pokemon, and I try the team out on the Regulation J ladder. As always, I do this for two reasons. One is just that I really like legendary Pokemon, and I want to give each one its due, and the other is that by spamming a bunch of teams, some good, some bad, some in between, some just kind of weird, I have fun playing the game in a bunch of different ways, and maybe I learn some things as I go. Manaphy, did it teach me any lessons last time? I don't know. It wasn't very strong, but that's pretty much what I expected. There's a lot still on the wheel that's not very strong as well, but there's certainly some interesting Pokemon that I don't have much experience with, so let's go ahead and see what we get. Wheel says... Ho-Oh. It hasn't stopped yet, but yeah, it's Ho-Oh. Alright, we have had an interesting relationship with Generation 2 in this series. It was a long time before the wheel ever picked a single Gen 2 Pokemon. Then it picked a bunch of them in a short span. And now, I mean, it would not have surprised me if Ho-Oh had been the very last one on the wheel, but that is not the case. We are now saying goodbye to Generation 2. It is the third generation to exit the wheel. 6 gens remain. I don't know what I'm going to do with Ho-Oh, but let's try to figure it out. Okay, I really don't know what to do with Ho-Oh. I know it's had some success in Regulation I, but not when I've tried it. The obvious thing to do with Ho-Oh is like a clear amulet, bulky physical attacker with probably Tailwind somewhere in the moveset. Alternatively, I think Electric Seed Ho-Oh with Miraidon could be interesting since it's so especially bulky already. And actually, as I was sort of starting to think as I made the cut there, I did get one unusual idea that I'm sure I won't find in past tournament results, which is, what if I tried Electric Seed Calm Mind Ho-Oh with Miraidon? It's pretty silly, but it's a creative way to use a Pokemon that I haven't had much success with up to this point. And I can make it nice and bulky, too. Side note, I think it might have been interesting if I'd invested more bulk on the Pale Glow Manaphy last video, because, well, last episode of this series, because I don't think that speed investment really did anything. Manaphy took some hits, but what if it could have taken more? We could try to rectify that with Ho-Oh now. I don't know, it's a thought. But, before we get into that, I am bringing back a couple of sites that we haven't seen very often in this series lately. Top Cut Explorer, and of course Munch Stats. I'm sure I can find some Ho-Oh results if I look at Reg I tournaments. All the Reg I tournaments are so long ago now. But let's see what we can find. So let's go to Bologna first. There are 12 Ho-Oh in the top 256. All but one running Terra Grass. I mean, that's pretty clear. Mostly clear Amulet. No Electric Seed. But Miraidon is the most common teammate. But they all run Protect and Sacred Fire. Almost all have Brave Bird. Life Dew is interesting. This is the highest placing Ho-Oh in Bologna, actually with Ice Rider Calyrex. Ursaluna, Rillaboom, Overquill, and Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. That's interesting. Let's see a ton of Overquill. Barb Barrage, Toxic Spikes. So Overquill is focused on poisoning things. And it's a bulk... Oh! Whirlwind Ho-Oh. To make sure the Toxic Spikes poison some stuff, and then it's nice and bulky with Sacred Fire, burning things, Life Dew, healing itself and its teammates. Good amount of offense here too, but it is a Leech Seed, Ice Rider Calyrex, there's a redirection from the Ogerpon. This is a cool team. But obviously I don't want to copy it for this series, that's not how this series works. In Santiago, 5 Ho-Oh in the top 64. All Terra Grass, mostly clear Amulet, all running the same 4 moves actually. Brave Bird, Protect, Sacred Fire, and Tailwind, all paired with Miraidon. Most of these teams just look the same. Miraidon, Iron Hands, Farigiraf, Grimmsnarl, Ursaluna, so I guess that's how you build a Ho-Oh team, probably. In Utrecht, 29 Ho-Oh in the top 256, almost all Terra Grass, all running Regenerator. Clear Amulet Leftovers actually tied. or most used item, but this is a little bit further back. They all have Brave Bird and Sacred Fire. Most common partner by far is Miraidon. The teams look a little... There's more variation, but some of them look pretty similar to what we saw a moment ago. And then 12 Ho-Oh in the top 100, 28 in Melbourne. Terra Grass, Regenerator. Leftover is the most common item on exactly half of them. Not many, not that many clear amulets, actually. They all know Sacred Fire, and Miraidon is still the most common partner. I think I am going to go off on my own here. I mean, I think if you want a good Ho-Oh team, it probably looks like this. And if you want to get a little bit more creative, I think this could have been a fun one to try at some point. A bit late for that now. But it's certainly an interesting concept. But I think I'm going to go off on my own here, try to get a little bit creative, and I am going to run Electric Seed, Calm Mind, Ho-Oh with Miraidon. Will it be good? I mean, like, probably not, but... Base 110 special attack. Base 154 special defense. There's stuff to work with here, right? So, I think it'll be okay. Well, I mean, I think it'll be fun content, is what I mean. So let's give it a go. I also think I might actually run Pressure as the ability instead of Regenerator, because if I'm doing Calm Mind setup Ho-Oh, it doesn't really want to switch out anyway. And I have a video recently with Calm Mind Lugia where I ran multi-scale, but I actually think Pressure might have been more useful. I was baton passing minimize boost to Lugia, so every miss would have been extra costly with Pressure. I will not be baton passing minimize boost this time, but I actually still think if this Ho-Oh is meant to not switch out, then Pressure is probably genuinely the better ability. Running it with Miraidon, probably want Iron Hands, right? Iron Hands gives me Fake Out support, and also just as a strong Pokemon that's hard to deal with in Trick Room. I do think I'll stick with Terra Grass Ho-Oh. Iron Hands, I could run Iron Bundle. That gives me speed control and Encore pressure. Or I could just run Whimsicott, which also gives me speed control and Encore pressure, but a better version. I could just run Whimsicott. Yeah. And I could do like Farigiraf, Ursaluna. I think that's pretty strong. Right, Farigiraf is a well-established Miraidon partner. On the other hand, I'm not... And then Ursaluna can click Earthquake next to Ho-Oh as long as Ho-Oh is not terrestrialized. On the other hand, I'm not really building supports out specifically for Ho-Oh in this version. Maybe I want Grimmsnarl instead of Iron Hands. But I think I can just count on Ho-Oh being turbo bulky and not needing screens. I think that's the way we're going to do this. So basically it's a Miraidon team with Calm Mind Ho-Oh grafted onto it. Kind of odd, but... I mean, there's probably a reason this is not the... There's probably a reason that there's like one Ho-Oh set that has significant tournament success. This is not it, but I'm down to try things in this series, you know? And I can still run Life Dew on this Ho-Oh, actually, and I can help keep Iron Hands healthy. Or Ursaluna in Trick Room, so there's a little bit of synergy there. I think that means it's going to be a mono-attacking Ho-Oh, which I think is fine. Air Slash is not that inspiring a move. Hurricane has that chance to miss, given that I'm not running Rain. I mean, Ho-Oh does get Giga Drain. That could be pretty good with the Grass Terra, but I think I'm okay with just, like, Flamethrower Ho-Oh. Mono Fire move. Or maybe just Giga Drain. Keep Ho-Oh a little bit healthier, but no. I think this is okay. Well, I think this is fun. Flamethrower. Life Dew. Protect. And then just like load up on physical bulk, probably. You know the drill. Miraidon, I'll go Choice Specs. The nice thing about Miraidon pairing with Ho-Oh, apart from activating the Electric Seed, is if I lead them together, Miraidon probably commands most of the opponent's attention. Which means that Ho-Oh should get openings to set up. Iron Hands, we'll go with the Assault Vest set. I definitely want Fake Out. And then, you know... I forgot to actually look at Ho-Oh on Munch stats. I don't think I need to, because I think we know what we're going to find. Top Cut Explorer painted a pretty clear picture. Let's see if anyone was running Calm Mind Ho-Oh and Reg Eye, though. We got Earthquake, we got Whirlwind, which we did see on one of those teams. We got Dual Wing Beat and Terra Blast. Not a single Calm Mind to be found, but look at this. The three most common partners are all in this draft here. Whimsicott, the typical Covert Cloak stuff, definitely needs Encore. I could give it Light Screen. Certainly Tailwind and Moonblast. Or I could be a little bit silly and give it fake tears. Make Miraidon hit that much harder, and actually Ho-Oh for that matter too. But I think standard light screen is fine. Farigiraf. I really need this to be able to threaten Ice Rider Calyrex, so I think it is going to be Terra Water. I don't have the Electric Seed available for it, but I do have Foul Play. Helping Hand. Certainly needs Trick Room. Let's go Psychic first and then Trick Room. I'll do Rocky Helmet. Because I don't have the Electric Seed available, this can also then be kind of annoying for... it is kind of annoying for Urshifu, but does that really matter? I'm actually going to run Safety Goggles. That makes it a little bit more helpful in front of a Moongus. No, because I have Electric Terrain on the team. Rocky Helmet's probably fine. And then Ursaluna, typical Flame Orb set. I can think about the speed. I probably don't want to go min-speed on this one, because then I can use it in Tailwind. As well as Trick Room. Maybe I just won't touch the speed stat. I don't know what's best for Ursaluna on a team like this. But yeah, there we go. We're going to try to set up Calm Mind Ho-Oh. I think we're going to find that there's a reason that it doesn't have tournament success to point to, but I still want to give it a shot, so let's go. Yeah, this is certainly an unusual way to build Ho-Oh, but I haven't been impressed with the usual ways when I've tried them. I don't think they've suited me very well, and I was kind of not looking forward to this Pokemon because of that, so let's at least try some way to make it fun and different, right? Otherwise, the team is pretty much as you'd expect, I think. I meant to talk about Iron Hand's Terra type, and I didn't, but I just slapped on the pretty standard Terra Bug. And I actually have given 4 Speed EVs to Ursaluna just so it's not tying with Iron Hands. But anyway, let's start laddering. See if this is the setup Pokemon that revolutionizes the format, though I doubt it. Especially when we're running into Koraidon, Armarouge, and Hisui and Lilligant, so it's kind of pick your poison. Terrasilize Ho-Oh, and it doesn't have to worry about being put to sleep by Lilligant, but it does have to worry about getting blasted out of existence by pick your red Pokemon. I can probably Trick Room into this. They might have a Trick Room mode with Armarouge and Indeedee, but on a team like this, it might actually be fast Armarouge. Yeah, it definitely might be. So if I can do Farigiraf... Miraidon lead, I think. Leading Miraidon... the problem is terrain control, right? If they have Indeedee Lilligant, they're not going to have Indeedee Lilligant. Miraidon Farigiraf. Miraidon Electric Terrain denies Sleep Powder into Farigiraf. Farigiraf can set Trick Room, all that for Ursaluna. And I'll bring Ho-Oh. Why not? This is going to be a really awkward mode with this team, actually. It's Groudon Lilligant. They could switch Indeedee in and Sleep Powder Farigiraf, but I think I just have to hope they don't. After you, Precipice Blades. Okay. It's a good tech, too. They take out Miraidon turn 1. I'm going to need Ursaluna to put in a ton of work here. Let's Psychic the Lilligant. I'm protecting Ursaluna this turn. It covers for a Protector switch on their end, and it gives me the Flame Orb. This is a really silly team. Honestly, I think this team would be a lot better with just a more standard Ho-Oh, but I'm not confident with a more standard Ho-Oh, so this is what we get. Good damage into Lilligant. Good damage into Lilligant. Rock Slide from Groudon doesn't do too much back. Coaching. Uh-oh. Oh, Coaching. Oh dear, that's really scary, actually. That is super scary. But not much to do here except Facade that and Psychic that. Maybe Flamethrower Ho-Oh can win this game if need be. Facade still does a lot. But what does Groudon do back? Also a lot. But it only KOs Farigiraf, not Ursaluna. Ursaluna's taking that burn damage now too. This could be Assault Vest Groudon. On a team like this, there's a pretty good chance. I think I might... So a lot of Walking Wake run Aqua Jet. I think it might be a throw to not Terrasilize Ursaluna. The problem is I also think it might be a throw to not Terrasilize Ho-Oh. So I'm going to Facade Groudon. I'm going to Terra Grass. I'm going to Facade Walking Wake. I'm going to count on this Terra Grass Flamethrower to take out Groudon. Ah, that's not gonna work, is it? No, it's probably AV Groudon. Alright. Let's do this. Oh, okay. We're getting DD coming in. That's not the worst. Ho-Oh is now weak to any... Well, it's a little bit vulnerable to crits. It's also now weak to any fire coverage from Groudon, but Ho-Oh is pretty heavy, so here's hoping for the best on that. Also, what I can do is Facade Groudon. It doesn't even have a boost anymore. Walking Wake might take Ursaluna out with Aqua Jet. I just kind of hope not. I guess I'll throw off a Flamethrower, actually. It's not Assault Vest Groudon. And it's Weather Ball Walking Wake. So that's just going to overwhelm Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh is not, I think, going to be able to get a Life Dew here. Alright, so that's GG. Rough start. Rough start. Let's see what we can do in the next game. Whoa, an Amoris. Whoa, this is a crazy team. They've got an Amoris, they got Malamar. Everything's contrary out here. With Kyogre, Grimmsnarl, Illumise. I now think is how that's pronounced, and Lunala. Miraidon can pressure them right away. They do have Tailwind, though, so I might want to set Trick Room. They'll probably also have Trick Room. I might want to set Tailwind. Ho-Oh is actually pretty good into Enamoris and Malamar, probably. Not so much Kyogre. I'll go Miraidon Whimsicott this time with Ho-Oh in the back and Iron Hands, and I don't know what this team wants to do. We'll try to figure it out. We've got Big Cloud and Big Wings leading for the opponent. I think I'm down to Tailwind and Volt Switch the Big Cloud. Oh, never mind. Well. Bye, Miraidon. Oh no. Alright. Calm Mind Ho. We're all in on Calm Mind Ho-Oh this game. Good news is it walls an yeah, that is called an Amoris. It walls an Amoris. I can also Encore the Lunala so that it can't do anything except Wide Guard from here. Big Bug comes in. These Calm Minds are actually pretty free right now, I think. Big Bug could Encore me. Could. I might as well set a Light Screen here. There's not a whole lot else for Whimsicott to do. We got Big Cloud on the field. Maybe Big Cloud is choiced and looking to switch to something else here. It shouldn't have anything to hit Ho-Oh very hard, but it could have like Contrary Superpower and just set up itself. That's a possibility for sure. What happens if I try to Encore Big Bug into Encore? I don't think I really benefit from that. I'm just going to Moonblast it. Or they might Encore me into Light Screen, but no, they said Tailwind. That Moonblast didn't do very much. Their Moonblast didn't do much back either. It did get a special attack drop into Ho-Oh, but yeah, Ho-Oh setting up this game is actually looking pretty strong. Mystical Fire wipes out Whimsicott with crit. Okay. They have Brick Break, Illumise, so there goes the Light Screen. But Ho-Oh is still not really threatened here. I do need to take out the Illumise, though. So... why do I have Heavy Slam on Iron Hands instead of Wild Charge? I definitely just autopiloted that based on what I don't know. I'll fix that, but yeah, I'll also click Heavy Slam into Illumise here because Iron Hands has nothing else good to hit it. Okay, it's Lunala coming in, the Earth Power Iron Hands. And I think Illumise being off the field means it's go time now for Ho-Oh. So let's Flamethrower the Lunala. And Drain Punch. Am I ever Terrasalizing Ho-Oh in this game? Maybe. I don't know whether they brought Kyogre. So as much as I'd like to Terrasalize Iron Hands and preserve it, I think I just let it go down and try to 1v4 with Ho-Oh, to be honest. Well, let's click Drain Punch into an Amoris in case I get a chance. We do drop to an Earth Power. Crit probably didn't matter. It's Meteor Beam Lunala, but that actually doesn't do too much to Ho-Oh here. Thanks to the plus a lot special defense. Flamethrower or Life Dew? I think they're threatening too much damage. For Life Dew to be an option. Let's get rid of Lunala. Oh, it's taken a lot. This is not really what I wanted to see here. Because Ho-Oh does need to use Life Dew to get any recovery. That said, if they lock me into Flamethrower, that should KO something here. And if they lock me into Life Dew... Well, they still have trouble breaking Ho-Oh, right? I'll click Life Dew again. Yeah, there's the Encore. They can fish for Moonblast drops, but... What's the longer term play? We still haven't seen the Kyogre. Is that what's in the back? Is it Grimmsnarl? Could be Grimmsnarl. That's a Pokemon that doesn't really threaten Ho-Oh. I would have liked to knock out the Illumise, but... Otherwise, this is looking like a really good matchup for Calm Mind Ho-Oh. Certainly better than I expected to find. It is Kyogre, okay. I guess I Terra Grass, and that makes me more vulnerable to Enamorus, especially the Mystical Fire, but gives me a chance to survive against Kyogre. I'm clicking Flamethrower into Illumise. To my surprise, they actually let me. They said Tailwind instead of going for another Encore, so I do get this damage, it KOs. No more Encore on the board. Enamorus is the only significant threat now. I actually will stall a turn of their Rain. Although actually the Rain is kind of beneficial to me because it weakens their Mystical Fire. Kyogre doesn't have Ice Beam, nice to know. Flamethrower. I am going to lose Special Attack to the Mystical Fire drop, but Ho-Oh is pretty boosted already. Well, let's see if another one KOs. I could burn it as well, and then get that chip damage. Yep, KOs outright. Nice. Now, of course, I only have Flamethrower on this Ho-Oh, but I'll just boost back up, I think. Given that the Kyogre doesn't seem to have Ice Beam, I think even a crit is not that dangerous here. And I have Pressure, so actually I've... That's apparently all their Water Spout PP already gone. They have Origin Pulse. That, of course, can miss. We'll just go back. We'll just go up to full Special Attack here. And then another Life Dew. And then start clicking Flamethrower. I have 19 of those left. A burn would be nice. But it's not necessary. Look how much that already does. Alright. And that is a 25-turn Calm Mind Ho-Oh sweep. GG. Now we can be satisfied with that, even if the next couple games are miserable, quick losses. Which might be against this team. Certainly might be. Ice Rider, Calyrex, Miraidon, Iron Valiant, Hearthflame Mask, Ogerpon, Landorus, and Whimsicott. A lot of offensive power here that I don't have great answers to on my team, as far as I can tell. Calm Mind Ho-Oh can maybe be a hero here. The problem is the Calyrex. The Calyrex probably underspeeds anything that I have in Trick Room, so even Trick Room is not really a safe bring against this. I'll go Miraidon Whimsicott lead. I'll go Ho-Oh in the back and Iron Hands, and we'll try to figure it out. Okay, Iron Valiant and Calyrex. I would like to just knock out Calyrex here if I can, but I don't think they'll let me. Let's Volt Switch. And honestly, let's Moonblast this thing. Would you rather run Terra Fire or Terra Fairy on Ice Rider? I don't know. I don't know my Ice Rider Terra types. There are so many. Get the Ogerpon in. It's a good chance for Ho-Oh to start setting up. And as long as I don't click Trick Room, Ho-Oh is at something of an advantage against the Calyrex, although I don't know what their Terra type is. As kind of lampshaded there. Calm Mind. Not really anything useful to Encore here. I don't know that Tailwind is all that valuable here either. Do I just switch to Iron Hands here? Don't really want that eating an Ivy Cudgel, do I? Honestly, let's just throw off a light screen in case it's useful later. Spirit Break Whimsicott, they don't get the drop because of the Covert Cloak. And I'm sure they weren't expecting Calm Mind Ho-Oh when they clicked that follow me there. I'm honestly down to lock the Ogerpon into follow me for now. I am just kind of sacking Whimsicott without ever clicking Tailwind, but I don't know that Tailwind is important here. I think what's important here is just Ho-Oh being able to outspeed. Ho-Oh being able to knock out, I mean, the Calyrex when that comes back in. So let's try to get rid of... Oh, right. I locked them into follow me. That's silly. So much for trying to get rid of the Iron Valiant. The Spirit Break drops are actually a problem. The Calyrex is a threat now. They get Calyrex back in for free because they knocked out the Ogerpon. That was a big misplay by me that turn. Hopefully not punished. We'll see. I'll go for Flamethrower here. And Moonblast. Ho-Oh being at +1 defense gives it a little bit more legs to stand on against this Calyrex. Oh, Terra Water. They didn't run Fairy or Fire. They tricked me. And also, Ho-Oh will underspeed their Miraidon if they do set Trick Room. So yeah, Ho-Oh takes that Glacial Lance reasonably well. Probably not another one, though. I need Iron Hands here, I think. Protect Ho-Oh. I'm just going to throw off a Wild Charge into their Calyrex. Maybe I could fake out Life Dew here, but... I think I just need to aggressively go for the KO. They go for the Spirit Break into Ho-Oh and not Iron Hands. That's big. Iron Hands does outspeed the Calyrex as I expected. Doesn't quite KO. But I think I just double into the Calyrex here. I mean, they might protect it and punish, but... I mean, Valiant can what? Valiant can knock out hands. But, Ho-Oh should beat Valiant from there. Their last Pokemon is Landorus, so they didn't bring Miraidon. That should mean that I never have to Terrasilize Ho-Oh, so that's good. That's very, very good. I do think it's time for a Life Dew. I think I just need to win the game with Ho-Oh at this point, so I go for whatever damage I can get into Iron Valiant. Yeah, they just knock out hands. I guess I could have Terra Bugged there. I guess I'm not really ever doing anything else with my Terra in this game, so there was no reason not to Terra Bug there, but I don't think the whole game will turn on it. Eh, maybe. I do still need to get rid of this Iron Valiant. I don't think the Terra mattered there either. I think that was always... It's Calm Mind Landorus? Ooh, I could lose to Calm Mind Landorus for sure. Okay, critting Valiant would be nice. I've let this Valiant stick around too long. Because it can always weaken Ho-Oh's damage output. Sludge Bomb, that should never poison because they should be running Sheer Force. But see, now I'm pressured. I'm going to Protect here to kill some PP. But now I'm pressured to click another Life Dew. Good news is their Calyrex is at 3%, so... The Spirit Break drops might not stop Ho-Oh from knocking it out, but they could actually be setting up for an endgame where Calyrex is strong enough to win this. Oh, that Sludge Bomb also just does too much damage. Yeah, I don't think Ho-Oh has enough in the tank, but... I mean, they do have limited PP on the Sludge Bomb. If they don't crit me... It looks like I healed just enough. They might go for another Calm Mind to adjust for that. But pressure... no, the Spirit Break does too much damage. Can Pressure Ho-Oh pull this one off? I don't think I can Protect here anymore. No, the Sludge Bomb is too much at +2. Oh, it crits. It probably would have taken that hit, but the +2 was still too much pressure. Okay, Calm Mind Landorus I was not ready for, it turns out. I was not the only one running an unusual Calm Mind Pokemon that you don't normally see. Now I'm fighting an FBI surveillance man, so that's pretty scary. Especially considering the current state of... Okay, never mind. Ho-Oh should be strong into this, though, right? Miraidon... So the neat thing about Calm Mind Ho-Oh, and I'm not saying it's actually good in the meta, the neat thing about Calm Mind Ho-Oh is a decent number of these Pokemon don't have good answers to it. Like... The Ogerpon can pressure me to Terra, that's the biggest problem, but Koraidon doesn't have good coverage into Ho-Oh typically. Terrapagos has trouble breaking through the Calm Mind, probably. I guess not so much with its own Calm Mind, but we'll see. Fluttermane doesn't usually run Power Gem. It's not unheard of, but it's unusual. The Ogre Pawn is the one big problem here. So, with that in mind, let's bring Ho-Oh, Miraidon, Iron Hands. Whimsicott. Or an emergency Tailwind button if I need Iron Hands to outspeed Ogre Pawn or something like that. There's no Ogre Pawn in the lead position. It's Incineroar and Terapagos. I'm just going to click Calm Mind. If they don't fake out Ho-Oh, that's some good initiative right there. And I think I'm going to switch Miraidon. I'm going to hard switch Miraidon out to Whimsicott. I'm going to call that Miraidon was the fake out target, which it was. They also Calm Mind their Terapagos. So that's where I might begin to have a bit of a problem. I'll set a light screen here. They protect Terapagos. If Whimsicott survives this turn, I can Encore it into that. U-turn. It's the Ogre Pawn. No. If I Terrasilize Ho-Oh, then it becomes weak to Terra Starstorm. Okay. Protect Ho-Oh this turn. I will Encore the Terapagos. I don't want to let it set up for free. Ivy Cudgel into Ho-Oh. That's really bad. But you know what? Given what I've just done to the Terapagos, maybe I can get by anyway. So I will Terra Grass Ho-Oh, Flamethrower Ogre Pawn, not give up my boosts. I have the boost advantage over the Terapagos now. It just has to be enough. Ivy Cudgel doesn't do too much into a grass type. Ogre Pawn's gone, but at what cost? Ah, right, there's this. Okay, I'm going to protect Ho-Oh, Moonblast, Miraidon. Fire. Okay, they can't Terrasilize their Terapagos now, so I don't have to worry about the super effective Terra Starstorm, but I do have another big thing to worry about. Big, scary thing to worry about here. It's boosted its speed too. Okay. Iron Hands. They have the faster foot. Nope, they just use Fake Out. Flamethrower, Fake Out. Protect. Ugh. This is so rough. They use the Ogre Pawn just right to force out the Terra. And they have Flare Blitz on Incineroar. Okay, I think it's over. Well, no, I just have to give up on Ho-Oh and win with Miraidon, unfortunately. That's the only way now. I can Flare Blitz Iron Hands, knock it out. Yeah, once I Terrassilized Ho-Oh, they just had too much to pressure it. Maybe I don't need Terra Grass on Ho-Oh. It's not like I'm running the grass coverage. Maybe I would be better off here with, like... I can lock into Electro Drift at least. No. GG. Maybe I'd be better off here with, like, Terra Fairy Ho-Oh. Alright. Yeah, this is another quick one where the tech didn't quite work. Ho-Oh actually does have a number of good matchups in this format, so I do feel like I'm getting a little bit of better insight on how it's supposed to work, but obviously I brought a less than optimal set because I didn't trust the optimal ones. And you get what you get with that. I'm going to play one more and try to just lead Calm Mind Ho-Oh and see what happens. But, you know, you can see the beginning of a vision. I mean, that Calm Mind Landorus kind of wrecked me, but you can see the beginning of a vision for Ho-Oh checking certain specific threats, like most Koraidon. We might be able to set up on this team. Shouldn't ever need to Terrasilize Ho-Oh in this matchup, which is good. Let's bring... these. So, you know, even though I'm not running the actual good set, I am a little bit beginning to understand how Ho-Oh has seen some success in the meta now. What's this Koraidon going to threaten Ho-Oh with? Probably not much. I would, of course, like to get my Electric Terrain up to activate the Electric Seed, but let's do this first. Act in DD. Koraidon U-turns into Whimsicott. Who's coming in? Blood Moon Ursaluna. Okay. Not my favorite thing to see here, but I don't think they were ready for the Calm Mind Ho-Oh. Good news is I don't need the Electric Seed right now. They don't really have a threat. Well, they don't have a great threat into Ho-Oh. I'll sack Whimsicott. I'll fish for some damage into Ursaluna. Maybe a Moonblast special attack drop. Yeah, we get it. Nice. Blood Moon into Ho-Oh does not a whole lot into +2 light screen from -1. They set Trick Room. But Ho-Oh is still setting up pretty freely here. I'll keep Moonblasting until Whimsicott goes down. I think I'm okay with that. Alright, well, there we go. One more big win for Calm Mind Ho-Oh to end the video. I'll call it here. I won't try to force it any more than this. Calm Mind Ho-Oh is, it's not good. I wouldn't take it to a tournament, but it's certainly not the worst thing I've used in this series. And it was kind of fun to have a different take on a Pokemon that has never quite lived up to my expectations when I've tried it in these Scarlet and Violet double restricted formats before. That said, the ability to be a tanky threat to things like Koraidon, Landorus, Zamazenta, which we didn't see in this video. Ho-Oh certainly has some things going for it. It's maybe a little bit out of my depth at tournament level, but as a send-off to my favorite generation, last Generation 2 Legendary to be featured in this series, you know, didn't do too badly here. And of course, there's still a number of Pokemon remaining on the wheel, and all that's left is to come back next time and see which one is next.